My name is Brandon Lirio. I'm an Infinite Lab sponsored athlete as well as a member of Team Armed Forces Europe. Recently, I've had a lot of questions, not only on my personal page, but on the official blogs about what it takes to actually compete in terms of financial and time responsibilities. So, with all of our upcoming casting calls for the team, as well as my competition season coming to an end here in Italy next month or in May, I decided to do a blog video about actually how much time and money it costs to just do, let's say, one competition in a 10 to 12 week session. First of all, what we'll do is we'll go over each of the specifics that it comes to allotting certain funds over the 10 to 12 weeks, as well as time it takes, not just if you're going to compete by yourself, but if, let's say, you do sign an agreement with a competition team or clothing or an athletic sponsor, then that also takes time and money. So first, we'll talk about the supplements. They're not necessary. Obviously, they call it supplementation for a reason. Anything standard from, BCAAs or protein or creatine, whatever you decide to take, could be anywhere from, let's say, $30 for a single item that could last you the entire 10 to 12 weeks if you decided to, get all of your stuff from natural food sources. But let's say you do have a more extensive supplementation plan, even with, sales from, let's say, bodybuilding.com or anything like that. It could still cost you anywhere from $300 to $500 for that 12 weeks. Food in and of itself, whether or not you have a supplementation plan, you still have to eat correctly. So, a standard, let's say, 3 to 4 week bulk session and then an 8-week cut, food per week could have cost anywhere from $100 to, let's say, almost $200 for 1 to 2 weeks of just chicken, rice, wheat bread, all of your standard staples for a fitness diet. Once you actually sign up for the competition that you decide that you want to do, registration. And I don't mean registration for your venue or for your specific weight class or competition, but simply to register for whichever federation you decide to compete for, whether it be NPC, Musclemania, or a regional type affiliation. Either way, you have to get a registration card. So $35 around to about $90, depending on if you're doing Musclemania, which is about €25 to compete here in the European Union, or if you decide to go back to the States, NPC costs $90 to $100 just for a standard competition year. And if you choose a competition at the end of the year, it only lasts for the number year, the calendar year, basically. So it doesn't last 12 months. So if I choose, let's say, the Excalibur in December, I'm going to have to buy another card basically 30 days later because it only lasts for the calendar year number. On the flip side, once you register for the federation, you have to register for your division. Again, that's another $100 to $135 per division. So if I wanted to do, let's say, short physique and lightweight bodybuilding, then it would be $100 to $135 for each one of those. So usually, the last show that I did 2 divisions as well as re-upped my federation card, wound up costing me almost $400. Then next is getting to the actual competition, whether it be from a rental car, train, air travel, could cost anywhere from $80 to $450. If you're choosing a local show, then hopefully you can drive, but it's still going to cost you gas, which is why it could cost anywhere, like I said, $40 to $80 on the low end, or anywhere from $300 to $450 on the high end for a plane ticket to another state, or if you're overseas, another country. Then once you get there, if you decide to stay overnight, which most people would due to the fact they want to keep their meal schedules and also get a good night's sleep and get to their tan early in the morning, that in and of itself is $50 to $150 per night. So let's just say that you do the 2 days and just the one night, then it could cost you anywhere from $50 to $150. Next will be, like I said, your tanning session either the night before and or early the next morning. Could cost anywhere from $75 if you wanted just a standard base coat to $135 if you decide to do a full-on day of where every time I bump into a wall or bump into another competitor, I want them to do touch-up spots. Then the tanning, whether you choose Jan Tanner or a private tanner that's on station or on site rather, is going to be anywhere from $75 to $135. Next whether or not you have a rental car, you might need a taxi, or if you travel with the team, then you'd have to throw in for the transportation to and from the team meeting at the night before or the day of, and then to and from the venue for the actual show back to your hotel room. So that could cost anywhere from $50 to $150, depending on if you're going in with a couple people. Last thing that you should look at, since you've already got your supplementation, you've already got your to and from while you're there, your tanning preparation, is what you're going to wear the day of the show. This varies greatly depending on if you're a male or a female, and the reason why is because male posing suits are very basic. We've all seen them, basically the Brazilian type of bikini for men. But on the flip side, women's posing suits are very much Swarovski crystal and silk, and they're supposed to be flashy and catch the judge's attention. So depending on if you're male or female, it could cost anywhere from about $25 to $28 for a standard posing suit. For men, they could even go up to the 70s or 80s if you wanted to actually have it tailored to your body. But for females, they can go anywhere from $125 up, depending on what you actually have to it, and then alterations to the suit. So to recap, just the price cost for a 10 to 12 week competition prep could be on the low end from about $1,400 all the way up to about $3,000. Now again, the reason why that number seems so high is because it does include 10 to 12 weeks of food every week to a week and a half. But again, most people factor their monthly bills in, and you're going to see an increase in your food prep, which leads us now to our time cost per competition. Your gym training is going to be anywhere from 40 to 90 minutes a day, 6 days a week if you have your standard splits. Usually that fifth day is going to be an active rest day where you do some cardio or go out and do whatever makes you happy in terms of intramural sports or something like that. But like I said, 45 to 90 minutes a week. Then your meal prep time is going to be 1 to 1.5 hours every 3 to 4 days to make sure that you have enough food to go to and from work. At the same time, to get ready for your competition, you're going to need posing practice, whether it be with a professional or by yourself or watching YouTube videos. For everybody out there in YouTube land, it's still 15 to 30 minutes every few days, and that's on the low end. Once you get closer to the show, it should be 15 to 30 minutes every single day, as well as practicing your actual routine with your song. So the time cost in and of itself just for that 10 to 12 weeks is already 9 to 12 hours. Throw that on top of, let's say, an 8 to 12 hour workday, 4 to 5 days a week. This is why deciding even to do a competition by yourself is very much a family decision. If you have a wife, kids, or let's say you're on the teen bodybuilding scale and you have homework to do and you're going to college and you have to worry about schoolwork, you really have to decide whether or not you can devote the time if you truly want to be good at your sport. And again, this is all without team ambitions and sponsorships. So on the flip side, let's say everybody wants sponsorship deals, right? We all want to go for our supplement companies and basically get our supplements for a discount or for free. We all want to compete for free. We all want to have a competition team to travel with and to lean on. But at the same time, they have requirements too. Social media requirements could be anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes a night. For a large supplement company, since you have to participate in their logs and their Instagrams and Facebooks and all that stuff. Now, if you decide to join a competition team, okay, they have standard posing practices. They have team meetings every couple of weeks. At the same time, they also have social media requirements. When it comes to their appearances in the public, you have to show up. I'll most likely be at the FIBO Pro in Cologne in April with my sponsorship company, and I'm going to have to take time off work to go to that. Not that I'm complaining about that. It's going to be great. But on the flip side, doing all of those things, if I decided to join a competition team, uniformity is the name of the game. So I need my team warm-ups, my team uniforms. I basically have my photo shoots, whether they be covered by the team or the sponsorship, is very important to look at because you might be footing the bill for all of those things or some of those things just to get your name out there. So when you're deciding whether or not you want to join a team, do a show by yourself, or even if the fitness industry in terms of the competition side is really for you, then you really have to decide if whether or not you have not just the money requirements, but the time requirements to give yourself, the gym, as well as everybody that you're making these promises to. So From rainy Kaiserslautern, Germany, for Infinite Labs and for Team Armed Forces Europe, I'm Brandon signing off.